Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already part of the Sprinkle Squad. I'm so happy to see you again, and apologies for being a little bit MIA, but I actually ended up having some computer issues right after the recent Sims 4 update, and it just here's the thing. I was actually working on this apartment, and then I went back to it and worked on it some more. And then I went back to actually go do the voiceover and edit and everything. And then it turns out that second recording I made was just black. There was actually no footage. So I had recorded like 2 hours of finishing this whole apartment, which in this first video, well, the first part of this video that I recorded, I only got this little bedroom area done. And then I did like the whole rest of the apartment in the other video I recorded. But yeah, so I ended up having to go and completely, well, first of all, figure out what was wrong with my recording software. And then I had to go and re-record the whole thing, that was just a whole thing. So hopefully it looks okay and it doesn't look kind of weird. But basically I ended up having to, I had already put the apartment up on the gallery. And on that note, it is already up on the gallery if you would like to download it under my ID, spicensprinkles. All one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. But it was already up on the gallery, and I was actually really proud of myself because, so lately I've been doing my voiceovers at midnight, which I talked about recently. I should try not to do that and try to do it a little bit earlier in the day. And I was so proud of myself because this was this past Wednesday, I was oh, I'm, I finished everything. I just needed to do the voiceover and just edit. And which really doesn't take too terribly long, but especially for something this small, since I'm doing a smaller apartment. But I ended up, I was oh, I'm going to go have dinner and go swimming at my parents' house. And then when I get back, I'll shower and, take care of the editing. And I was oh, good. It's only 10 o'clock. So I am doing the voiceover earlier than usual. And then I find out that my footage was just non-existent. So I basically just turned off my computer and left my office because I just didn't feel trying to figure out what went wrong. But I think what happened was with the recent update, I think it somehow changed a setting in my recording software, which I had to go and figure out what it was mad about and get it to actually start recording again, the actual Sim software. It swapped and wanted to just record the EA launching app, which was obviously not what we want. But luckily I did get it figured out, and what I ended up doing was literally gutting the whole apartment, basically, that wasn't in the first part of the footage, and then just using my screenshots that I had already taken, and then just redoing it all. So hopefully I got it all right, but it was just kind of funny. I literally I was just I don't feel like dealing with this tonight. I'll deal with this later. So that is why I'm a little bit behind on uploads. It was just giving me a hard time. But actually talking about this build, I honestly had a bit of an identity crisis with this apartment because I knew that I really wanted this lofty studio vibe here, and I really struggled with the color scheme. At the beginning I really liked the blue, orangey, red thing I had going on. I just knew I really wanted to use that LED sign there on the wall from the party. I was gonna say it's the new party kit, but it's been out for a little while and we've already got 2 more kits that have come out, which, speaking of, I haven't actually even gotten my hands on those yet, so hopefully I will do that soon and be able to use those items. I've seen some of the items and they look really nice, to be honest. So let me know if you've already got the kits. What do you think of them? Do you like them? Are they worth buying? That kind of thing. I mean, I have a feeling if you're a builder, they're probably pretty cool to have. But again, I haven't actually worked with them yet. And I will say too that if you notice, I kind of walled off the area that the well, what is it, the electrical panel is in there. So if I usually try not to block those things because it can be kind of annoying if you actually have to access those items, but I opted to block it off this time. So if you do download this, just be aware that you may have to destroy a wall or something to actually get to it if something breaks, or use a cheat just to cheat it back to working. But I just really wanted it to be walled off this time. And even though the closet kind of looks like it's floating when you place it in there, It does work. This has been play tested, so your Sims shouldn't have any issues. But I ended up going with this really pretty pastel color scheme, and I did a bunch of clutter here in the bedroom area with a bunch of like added pillows and things like that. And I'm really excited with the way it turned out. And I ended up making this for like a knitter. So we do have like the nifty knitting stuff pack. So that's kind of what I ended up going with here. I end up adding a lot of those items over in the living room space. And then in the office space that we have, I do end up adding a lot of the nifty knitting items. So I'm thinking maybe this sim really likes to knit, and that's actually how they, you know, make their living, is like selling stuff on Plopsy, which I feel like there's mixed reviews about using Plopsy. Like I feel like some people really like using it and some people are like, no, it's a nightmare. So kind of let me know what you think, but I thought that might be really nice to do, or maybe they sell it on like a table somewhere, that kind of thing. But I just thought that would be really cute. And originally, like I know that I said that this took me basically 2 sittings to finish. By the time I actually got to this point where I was doing the like kitchen area, honestly, I was having a bit of a crisis with what I actually wanted to be in here. I think I'd been working on the bedroom for so long. I was just kind of overwhelmed a little bit with trying to figure out what I wanted in the rest of the space. So I ended up actually swapping out the, like, what do you want to call it, the platform coloration, and I think that helped a little bit. And this is at the point where I ended up having to re-record everything, so you'll see that I don't like swap around a bunch of items or anything like that, because I know exactly which items needed to be here because I already chose them. So just as a warning, like I do actually go through a lot of items when I build. It's just this one I had already had built, which is just not my usual, but I just thought I would mention that in case you're like, wow, like like Spice and Sprinkles really knows what items they want. No, it's absolutely not. She does not know. Like it is. Anyways, I just thought I would mention that. And I am doing this recording at 3:40 in the afternoon. So I would say that is a win. I'm actually doing it during the day and a little bit early, like a couple days earlier than it being posted, which honestly is a really big win for me. I've just been kind of behind. Like I've had the builds, but then like I had issues, and then it's totally fine. You know, we'll get there in the end. And I'm still working on that castle. Luckily, I didn't really work on the castle when I had the recording issues, so I didn't lose footage of the castle. So I was thinking about working on it instead, but luckily I didn't. Otherwise, I would have lost all that footage. And honestly, that really would have been heartbreaking, considering this is just a smaller apartment and is not super difficult to replicate. But I feel like that castle would be super difficult to replicate. So I have been working on it. It's honestly going to take me, I think, 10 years to do some of the landscaping. So just know I'm still working on it, and I don't know what build I'm going to do next in terms of like what's going to be posted. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to use the new kits, that kind of thing. And as always, let me know if you have any suggestions of things you want to see on the channel. Of course, I always write those down in my little notebook, and then when I feel like ready to do it, I will definitely work on it. It's kind of like the castle. I knew I'd been wanting to do it, but it was just hard to get started on it until I was really like in the mood to build a castle, if that makes sense. Like, I'm sure I'll probably do some sort of cafe too, considering we just got that kit that came out. I just don't know exactly when I'll have that up. But I will say another difficult part of this apartment was it has the tallest wall height, and I do not know why they did this. I wish we could change it. Like, the tall wall height is just really difficult to use, at least for me, because I hate having just like giant space like on the walls. Like I like to clutter and I like to have things filled up, so it's hard for me to just kind of leave stuff blank. So you can see I add some of the paneling there and the wallpaper, and I kind of just do this interesting thing here on the wall with like, that is like the high school years. I think that's like the boba like logo, oh my gosh, the boba tea logo, oh my goodness, on the wall there. And of course I use the backlit TV that we got with the party kit as well, because I thought that was so cute. I have one TV in my house that we put like the light stripping on the back of it, and it's actually kind of cool that it changes colors, but maybe I'll do that with some of my other TVs. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. And I know they have some that are like, aren't they supposed to be like responsive to like if you're playing a game or something like that, or watching a movie, like the colors change in coordination with that? Like I feel like that would be really cool too, but at the same time might be a bit overwhelming. I don't know. Let me know. Does anybody have it? Do they like it? Before I like go and spend money on that. And I end up in this like little hallway area. I put like a little vanity in here, which I thought was just honestly super cozy and cute. And then in the bathroom, I actually do include some laundry in here. So you can see like in the bedroom, I put a laundry basket, and in here I do end up putting the washer and dryer, and I put like a shelf over it and just put some clutter on it. And I think it turned out really cute. And then doing just kind of like this built-in shower. Originally when I was building it, I had swapped out the shower a lot of times trying to figure out what I wanted, until I decided that I think I would just like to build my own because I didn't like any of the ones we had in the game. And then I thought it was really cute. I used this little like neon flower sign that we got with high school years and pretended like it was like a little hook thing to put their robe on. And I just thought that was so adorable. And I feel like I want to use that again. And then I put a ton of clutter in here, and I used the really cute cloud shelf that I think, was that toddler stuff or parenthood? It was one of those packs. I feel like we're getting so many packs. It's really getting hard for me to remember where every single item came from. So, you know, I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but I do try to let you know where I got items from if I can remember. And then, like I said, this is just going to be our office. So we do put a computer in here, so your Sims should be able to do whatever it is that they need to do in here. And of course, doing all the knitting they could ever want to do. And it was actually funny. I had to play test this a lot because the original chair I used on the desk didn't work. It was actually the heart chair that I think came with high school years, and the Sim did not want to use it, like refused to use it. I don't know what was going on, so I ended up having to actually swap that out for a different chair. But this should work. What is on the gallery definitely works. I play tested it like I said. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye everybody.